the Quilters Guild of East Texas is hosting the 2026 Tyler Quilt Show, and the theme is Stitched in the Stars, celebrating 250 years of American quilting and creativity. And it's all happening or starting this Friday. It's going to be through Saturday. We're going to have more details on how and where and how you can get involved, if this is something that you want to attend, if you want to check out. But joining me now, this is Deborah. I'm going to pull up her camera here. Deborah Monroe joining us. You're a part of the Quilters Guild of East Texas, putting this all on, getting us, excited and in the know of everything that's happening. So to start us off, this year's theme, of course, centered around the big founding 250th anniversary of the country. Tell me more about why this was like a no-brainer decision on the theme.
Well, obviously because it is our 250th anniversary of our founding of our fathers, but we wanted to also emphasize just the creativity and of our for women and men that have quilt through the ages, and how it kind of got started as our new nation started. Even before that happened, it was going on. So we can talk about that in a few minutes too, some history and how some of our those women, what they had to do to be able to make a quilt.
Right. Now, I know this is also, of course, a show, but there's also a competition involved, yes. And y'all have quite a few, different things when it comes to like best in show and a few other categories as well. Walk us through what those categories are, because for someone who may not know or have dived into the quilting world before, they might just think, oh, it's just a blanket. But no, it's so much more.
Well, we do have 3 categories, and I hope I get them all. But one of them is Best in Show, and it's $100. And then also there is a viewer's choice. And then there's also another one, and I really forgot which one that one is. But there are 3 categories, and each one of those are $100. But then we have different quilting categories that we have first, second, and third place as well. So you want me to talk about those for just a minute?
Let's talk about it.
All right. So we have categories. We have large quilts and small quilt categories. They're divided in different sizes. But then you have applique, and then mixed media, which may be applique and other different different types of applique or different kinds of piecing that's in it. And I'll show you some of those in just a minute with some of my quilts. Also, we have the category of I just lost my thought, of art quilts, which is fairly new. It's a little bit of a different category, and I have some of those. We have modern quilts, which are a little brighter colors. They may be geometric or asymmetrical shapes, or their own designs. And we have a miniature quilt, and then we also have a smaller quilt category that's also the Stitch and Stars theme. So they have used that theme, and they may have some kind of star. It may be patriotic or whatever they wanted to, however they wanted to put that star in their quilt. But they're small quilts. They're like 12 by 12s, I believe. So that'll be fun to see those. Also, we will have a special category of antique quilts, like some of us whose grandparents did quilting. They will be shown. They're not going to be judged, but they will be shown. So different kinds of antique quilts. And I have a couple of mine that my grandmother made that will be hanging as well. So that'll be fun.
I think that's awesome because, again, outside of just the quilt show itself, there was a call that y'all made out to everybody in East Texas because you want to show off that history. You want to talk about not only the history of America through quilts, but the history of quilts themselves. What kind of response did you get when you're like, hey, anybody and everybody, you got an old quilt, you have one that's been passed down for generations?
I wish I knew how many exactly we do have, but probably up to 15, I believe, that, because of space limitations. I know we've had a little over 200 quilts in the show, so So we have, between the special exhibit and the call, then I know we have about 205 quilts total. So
And that's a lot of space.
That's a lot of space.
Because some of these quilts are quite big, but it just shows the effort and the energy and the love poured into these quilts.
Absolutely.
And I know you brought some to show us.
I did.
I'm excited to see them.
So can we talk a little bit about our community service?
Absolutely.
Let's go do that. Okay.
So, speaking of that, you're hosting a raffle to benefit the charities. The Guild is very active in the Quilts of Valor. What all do you want us to highlight first before we get into the blankets?
Okay. Well, Quilts of Valor, we have like over 40 of the ladies that are involved in that. It's its own nonprofit, but they make a patriotic quilt, and then we have donated like 189 have been awarded in 28 ceremonies for over the past 2 years. That's how long we've been doing this. Mm-hmm. And it is such a great ceremony. It provides the opportunity for us to say thank you to those veterans and to show them that we support them, we love them, and some of the veterans at first don't. I don't need any recognition, but it gives us the opportunity to say thank you to them.
Yes.
And it's so during the ceremony, we tried to do it in groups. Our Pat Graham is in charge of that, and she does a wonderful job. But she'll say some information, background about each of the veterans. She'll have them come up, and then the person who made the quilt and a loved one will wrap it around them, and it's just incredible ceremony.
It's just like a big metaphor of East Texas loves you, and you should
Absolutely.
feel that love when
That's
it's
right. Absolutely.
And you do a lot with also children advocacy centers.
Yes.
When children are going from home to home or just moving around, one thing that we've highlighted with other organizations is that these kiddos don't have a lot to carry, to call their own.
Right.
Y'all do something that I think is, one, very clever, but two, again, surrounding those children with love.
Absolutely. So what we do, we call them cuddle quilts, our comfort quilts, and we've donated over the last fiscal year 305 of those to several organizations in the East Texas area. And one of those is Children's Advocacy Center, and I've told, of course we can't be there, but I'm told the children can go in and choose their quilt. We also make drawstring pillowcases, so they can have a pillowcase for their pillow, but they also can put their quilt inside the drawstring pillowcase to keep, and then they can take it with them wherever they end up. So it's very
not only
exciting.
A blanket that they can say, this is mine, this is going with me, but the pillowcase itself is a carrying case to keep it safe and clean and everything else.
Absolutely.
That is so clever to use that pillowcase in that way. So with the raffle system and the silent auction, how does that money go towards those different charities?
It's used to help us buy fabric.
Okay.
So to buy the batting and buy some of the fabric.
So all the supplies going into it.
Some of it, of course, what I did, I was treasurer of this past couple of years, so I added up just what the materials that cost for all of these quilts that we purchase. And many of the women just donate their own quilting fabrics. But if you put a dollar amount, and very conservatively, it was over $60,000 of fabric that went into all of these quilts that we donated. So it's a sizable donation of the women, and that's not even counting their time. We had over 9,000 hours of donated time from the women
That
this
is
past
amazing.
year. So that's pretty incredible.
And that's all hands working to make those
Absolutely.
blankets. And we all know
Absolutely.
fabric is not cheap.
It is not, and it's it is getting more expensive as we speak.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on, since we brought up the charities and everything else, and the raffle and the silent auction that's going to be going on, can you also tell us about the country store and the other vendors that are going to be there? Because it's not just quilts, but also
Right.
a lot of other things to see for folks coming in.
Absolutely. Well, we have one thing. We have vendors, and I mentioned some of those.
I don't think we have yet, but
Okay, so I'll just run through our vendors real quick. Well, Running Doe Quilts, which she's a quilt store here in town. And then some of them are out of town. We have T-shirt quilt patterns, Southern distributors, Cobb's Corner, Wax Prints, and more, which that is African quilts, I believe. Time Woven Studio, Annalena Designs, Crafted Woods, the Bell Collection, which is jewelry, and she's out of Austin, I believe. East Texas Sewing Center, My Basket of Faith, Strictly Unique Studio, Designs with Stripes and Curves, Redfern, Euro Steam Iron, Heartfelt Hugs, Quilts Therapy, Home a la Modes, the Scissor Guy, if you have scissors that need to be sharpened.
Love it.
And the Embroidery Guild is going to have some things there to sell as well. So
That's amazing.
that's our vendors, which is, we always love them because they help us pay for the space.
Absolutely.
And then our other items that are, we have, like you mentioned, the country store, which is, you'll get lots of deals, but we want you to go to the vendors first and then come in and see what we have in the country store. But all kinds of items, anything you can think of that the women of the guild have donated to sell. Then we also have a silent auction. So if you want to purchase a quilt, you can purchase a quilt in the silent auction. There are a number. We have I think she's got 200 items in the silent auction.
Wow.
So, lots of things to, if you're not a quilter or a sewer, you can find it there. So.
Awesome. I love that you brought in the scissor guy, because I remember my mom talking about him, because she goes to a lot of quilt shows, and you got to bring your scissors to him so that you can take advantage of him being
Absolutely.
there.
And who has scissors that you can't use, especially if you used on paper, you can't use them on fabric anymore.
I've had my hand slapped plenty of times because I've picked up my mom's fabric scissors and tried to use it on paper. Absolutely. Now, are you ready to show us?
I am ready to show
All
it
right.
to y'all. So
here we go.
we'll get a little bit of glimpse of first of all, it's our donation quilt. It's
Okay.
Quilt in the Stars, and it's just beautifully hand quilted.
Let me see if I can get you some help to hold this up. Kyle, would you be able to help us?
Yeah, I got you.
Our friend, our sports producer, Kyle.
At least do part of it.
Here, let me see if I can zoom out as well.
So you just see how beautifully it is
Oh my
the
gosh.
quilted part. Now, and when we talk about quilt, a quilt has three pieces. It has the front quilted part, it has a batting, the inside, which makes it warm, and the backing on the outside. Then quilting is the actual decorative stitches that is put on the quilt to hold those three layers together. And that could be hand quilted, it can be machine quilted on a long arm, what we call a long arm, which is it can do the whole span of the quilt, or it can be on a domestic machine. So
Absolutely pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that's the donated quilt.
This is the donate, which we will sell raffle tickets. It's $1 a ticket or 6 for $5.
Okay.
So we will be raffling and this one off. So.
You got another one for us?
Yeah, we
got
got
a
several
few
of you
more.
got.
Let's do
Right.
it.
So let me show an example of a cuddle quilt.
A cuddle
And
quilt. This is that will be going to the Children's Advocacy Center.
Yes, so
Oh.
this is example, and this size or larger. I mean, they're really pretty large quilts, and just all different kinds and different shapes. And we have some that are more for adults, because some of the adults that go through as well.
Absolutely.
And I think we have given quilts through the Under the Bridge program as well in the past.
And you have older kids. You
Older
got
kids. So
ladybugs, dogs, tractors.
we try to do a variety so it fits any age group.
Absolutely.
So do a variety of kids. But all very nice quilts and very, very beautiful.
So again, just an example of where the money is going to in this, not only the organization, but also for this event itself.
Absolutely. And, also we do a lot of education to promote the craft itself and the history and new techniques. Now, this is an example of a Quilts of Valor. So, again, and they're all different. We try to find different patterns for the veterans, and they're just always beautiful as well.
And to remind folks, the Quilts of Valor, this is when you're wrapping the blanket
Yes,
around that veteran.
around the veteran, yes.
Oh.
And, it's very heartwarming, and they, sometimes they don't want to do it at first, but then when they, if you have a veteran that is, that you want to nominate, first of all, they have to agree to do it. And you can either go to the our website and contact us on the website to nominate, or you can go to Quilts of Valor organization on the website, and there's a little information sheet that you have to fill out for the veteran. But just if you contact us, we'll get you.
You'll get them in the right direction.
Yes. So that's always wonderful. Okay, so
We got another one.
we got a number of them. So if we talk about the art quilts,
Yes.
so I have a number of these.
And this is a part of the different categories during the competition.
These so this would be considered an art quilt.
Oh my gosh.
I think the rest of these are small.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. Thank you very much. So this is all fabric and stitched, and that's just one category, one example of an art quilt.
Beautiful.
And with art quilts, you can do. There might be painting. There might be, other kind of textiles part of it. This is also a one that's going to be in the quilt show.
Oh,
That's
the
an art quilt.
texture.
Lots of texture. And
Wow.
I have.
Now, have you made any of these?
Actually, these two were mine. Yeah,
Both of those two that we just
were
saw?
mine-
Oh
were
my
mine,
gosh, you're
yes.
talented.
This is another one I picked up from a friend, and she has painted some. There is some stamping on here, paint stamping, some handwork that she's put on there. So it's just
This
a
would be the
variety.
mixed media.
Mixed media, yes.
Okay.
Or it could be in the art quilt category too,
I-
but it might be in the mixed media.
Is it a takeaway from the final score, depending on its size, or is that?
No.
Okay, I love
With
that.
those, there's no size limit
Love that.
with those. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Again, here's another one. She's used some old doilies in this one.
Oh, my
She has, again, painted some. She's done some stamping. She does her own dyeing of her fabric. And
Okay,
this
extra
one,
talent.
The extra talent, yes. Dyes her own fabric. So just any, this has got some little pieces of things that the bags, you can get vegetables in, the little sacks that
Oh,
have the little,
yes.
yes, so she has pieces of that just adds a little different
Like
texture.
the plastic for like onions and whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of
That
added.
is so creative to use it to add texture, to add a little bit of different elements to it all. That is brilliant.
Now, in the categories of applique, this is an applique, isn't that gorgeous? This is called raw edge applique. So
Okay.
actually you just cut your piece out, and it has that adhesive on the back, and then you sew around the raw edge. So that's a raw edge category.
And for applique, you're putting fabric on top of fabric to create the picture.
And then then
Oh,
you
wow.
can decorate on top. And then then you have another type of applique.
Okay, we're doing another type of applique. Okay.
This is called prepared edge applique. This is a beautiful quilt.
Oh my goodness.
And this is
Talk about depicting history.
Lisa Martin. She actually won Best of Show
Let me see if I can
in
get closer.
Dallas 2 years ago with this. But this is a depicting a tribe, Indian tribe, and I think I have it sideways. Sorry.
It's okay. That's a bigger one.
It's Indian tribe, and they're having a festival. So
Oh wow.
she. Let's see, the name of this one is the Fari Festival, and it's a tribe in India, and so she's depicting this festival. And,
Oh, how phenomenal.
And prepared edge applique means that she's made a outline. She made her design, cut it out in a plastic, and then folded the material over it so that the material exactly looks like, that piece of plastic. And then she irons it. Then she takes the plastic out and then hand stitches around that applique piece. Very, very time consuming.
Yes.
She does a beautiful job of it.
Absolutely stunning.
So-
Again, I know a lot of this is done by machine, but so much other portions is done by hand. And
So much by hand. She does a lot of hand, and this is mostly done by hand. Now, the machine she did for the quilting in between,
Right.
but it's all
Those
the
little
pieces are
pieces.
put on by hand.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. And not even to mention the embroidery,
And,
the detail.
Yes.
Wow.
So she is quite talented.
Absolutely.
Then we have other things that can go into the mixed media. This is a shibori, which is
Oh,
a
pretty.
Japanese way of stitching. So this is called shibori,
Oh wow.
and it's gone through. She's done her own quilting because it goes through the layers, both layers there,
So it goes all the way through.
all the way through. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's added other applique on that, but that's kind of a mixed media as well. So, quilting is not just large quilts, it's all sorts and sizes of quilts.
Absolutely. All sorts of sizes.
Then this one, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. This one's mine, but
the colors.
I'll tell you a little bit about it. On this one, it's also has photography. So I've taken pictures of things when we visit. I don't know if you can tell, but this is inside.
Oh, the Colosseum, is that right? No, no.
One of them is a Coliseum. Let me see.
I just saw the arches and made an assumption.
No, well, I do have Colosseum. This is the Pisa.
Oh.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. And I've taken a picture of it, manipulated in Photoshop to black and white, then I printed it on the material.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's printed on a dyed piece of fabric. This is a boboa tree that I saw in Tanzania. This is from a tile that was took a picture of in I believe Greece, and this is a picture of a mosaic that I saw in Scotland. This was actually a print of some lettering on tiles in Turkey. So just all kinds of things, whatever you think of, you can use in a quilt. You can put in a quilt. So.
But that's what's fascinating about quilting is that you can take an idea and just turn it into whatever you want.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes them so unique, especially at, shows like this where you see everybody's creativity and trying to meet that criteria that you have set for the rules, the themes, and seeing how everyone interprets it.
One thing I'll bring out too.
Sure.
Also, we some of us do what we call botanical printing, and that's
Okay.
what this is. I did a print over, but this is coreopsis that you heat press onto fabric, and it does lovely because it's a very yellow, orangey flower,
I hope
and
I
it
can
heat
zoom
presses
in.
onto the on the fabric. But it's so fun.
Do you use a press or do you use I know some people let fabric sit in the sun with flowers on them.
And that makes more of a shadowy. Yes, you
Okay.
can do that. You can also put it in hot water and put it in the sun and do it that way. You can boil it or steam it, but this is I use like a t-shirt quilt press,
Oh, okay.
and you leave it for about 3 minutes with some, you have to have some moistened felt in between there so you don't burn it. But it just, certain flowers just produce beautiful results. So.
Well, it adds to the history to
Absolutely.
quilting, and I know you're going to get in that in a moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So whatever. I think that's a majority of them. So we can talk a little bit about the history.
Okay. I do appreciate a show and tell. This is so much
It was
fun for me.
I was like, I told me, I need a few of your help. But if we want to talk about a little bit of history, if you
Yes.
think back when we were first coming over from to start the colonies, we're coming from Europe and Ireland, everywhere, but especially from England. If you think about, they could only bring a certain amount of things with them.
Right.
If they wanted to, first of all, to make clothes or to have warmth, they would make a quilt. But it would take 2 years if you were going to make your own dry goods. You had to plant the flax, you had to let it grow, you had to harvest it, you had to manipulate it so that you could then make your threads and spin it on a spinning wheel to make the yarn, and then make a loom, and that took a long time.
Goodness.
If they and usually only the rich people could buy fabric because it came from England, and you had to have money in order to purchase that. But even so, if they used wool, England had a stipulation that you could only have sheep in the colonies that were good for mutton, for meat, which their wool is not as, it's more coarse, so it doesn't make very good fabric.
Makes it itchy.
Yeah, absolutely. So they did develop a technique where they combined the linen, the flax with the wool to make it a little bit softer. Mm-hmm. But that was another reason. But even when they sheared the sheep, they also had to send it to England to have it processed, and then it was sold back to them.
Goodness.
So there were a lot of reasons why they were disgruntled with England. And that was just one of the many, I think. But through the years, with the Industrial Revolution, then fabric was made in like 12 to 24 inches. That's what we could call broadcloth. That was purchased to make clothing, and then if you had pieces left over, then that went into your quilt, into your quilting. Then, of course, we had, and that was in about 1785. Then, of course, then we had the cotton gin in 1793 that was developed so we could kind of work that cotton that was developed, and it was easier to separate those cotton seeds instead of doing that all by hand. Before, they would have to comb it and get with these paddles that had kind of needle-like things on them that would
almost
comb
like a comb.
it. Yes, they would. But it was like a big paddle with that on it, so they would comb it to get those fibers separated and to get the seeds out of the cotton.
So I think I've seen that before at various antique stores. Like,
absolutely.
What in the world is this?
And then they would have to spin it, put in yarn, and again, then put it on a loom, and so it's very time-consuming. But then in 1813, a power loom was introduced to America. So again, it made it easier for people to purchase fabric to begin doing more than just making quilts for the bed. They had more time to use a little bit more creativity and some of the very decorative fabric that came out of India, maybe have flowers, and so that's how the applique got started. They would cut pieces of the flowers and then put them on the big pieces of fabric and hand sew them down.
Oh, wow.
That's where more of our creativity got started. With ladies doing that kind of thing, and then they had more time to sit, especially during the winter times. And I remember my grandmother had her frame up on the ceiling, and so during the winter she would pull it down and she would work on quilts, during the winter time, because they were farmers and they were busy during the other times. So anyway, so during that time, it's just a progression. And even men now, many men now are into quilting and doing long arm quilting.
Absolutely.
So it's just really grown, and it keeps expanding, and the ideas and creativity just keeps growing. So
it even shows in your work.
Absolutely. We're just whatever you can think of, you can do. So we're all artists.
Right.
Very and just showing their artistry and with the use of fabric. So
I think this is amazing. I mean, it just goes to show that you're going to see such a variety at this quilt show coming up this weekend. So to kind of wrap things up, let's go into the where, the when, how much we need to pay at the door to be a part of all of this.
Okay, so it's Friday and Saturday, April 24th and 25th. It's at the W.T. Brookshire Conference Center in the Rose Garden area. If you buy online, you can go online to Quilt Guild of East Texas or QGETX.org, and you can order your ticket online, and it's only $12, but it's $15 at the door. So go online, save some money, and come to see us, because you will really enjoy yourselves.
All right, perfect. Now I even have the website up on your screen now.
Good.
If you'd like to get more details here, you could even learn more about the judges, the country store, the silent auction, everything that we went through today. If you want to revisit that information, you can do so. And of course, we'll have this up on our website as well. Deborah, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for showing off all of the blankets.
Fun. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Anytime y'all need anything, let us know. And
Okay.
because I know y'all do so much within the community, we're happy to highlight that and put you on a spotlight for it.
Thank you very much.
Of
We
course.
are very appreciative, and we're just come and see us and help us continue this work that we do for the community. And come if you want to learn more about quilt. We have quilting bees. We have a number of bees. The ladies are very helpful if you want to. If you are a beginner, just ask questions. Come to those. They'll be more than happy to help you and give you some inside techniques.
You got it. Again, Deborah Monroe from the East Texas Quilting Guild of East Texas. We appreciate you. We're going to go to